Should have brought up, called up Dr. Dylan, PhD for this.
Is this going to be scientifical?
I don't know. He is a scientician.
Welcome to Curiosity Public. I'm Dutch.
I'm Jules.
I'm Dylan.
And welcome to yet another one of our world-famous drink-throughs. Sound effects courtesy of Jules.
Wow. Okay.
And also regular sound effects that probably played during
Courtesy of Dutch.
all right, guys. A special drink-through here. I mean, they're all special. But this one, we're going to be doing Remus. Oh, hang on. I got to get something.
Oh, no. Is there some kind of secret thing?
I remembered that we also have a regular old Remus.
Right.
We should start with regular Remus.
That's right.
But this doesn't look like Remus, does it? It looks like some books.
A library.
Are you reading some books, Jules?
Some books I do not read.
This is not a library. It's a converted church.
X marks the spot.
Movie
X never.
ever marks the spot.
All right, in this case, this is a special release from Remus. What they did is they packaged batches 1, 2, 3, and 4 in this bookcase. And the way you access these bottles is by flipping this down, just like so. And look at that.
Now I want to
There's
read.
some literature down here about each of the batches, the awards that they've won and whatnot. And you've got batch 1, 2, 3, and 4 lined up right there. I give them high marks for this presentation. I mean,
Very nice.
it's a ridiculously expensive set. I think this was about $600 is what we were able to get it for.
You're not supposed to open it then?
You're probably not supposed to open it and just hold on to it. I mean, it does look cool on your shelf, but absolutely not worth it. The only reason that we bought it was to get batch 1 for this drink through. So,
Just for this.
For you.
so thanks, guys.
Our one viewer.
All right, we're going to get this out of the container, and we're going to line up batch 1 through 5 and along with the regular old Remus. Oh, yeah,
Sure.
we'll show a little more detail of this. Just look at that. Wow. So darn cool. Jules, you want to open it?
Learning the law of the land.
Don't drop it.
I got it. And look at that. You can let it all the way
And
down.
then try to show the...
No, you
can.
Look at that.
Yeah, that's cool.
All right, so we've popped the batch 1 out of the box there. We have we already had open bottles of 2 through 5 and an open bottle of the regular Remus bourbon, which is what we're going to start with
All right.
right now.
So did we mention that this is from MGP? And this
You
is...
just did.
Oh. Yeah, so this is their flagship, right?
This is MGP's house brand.
MGP's MGP.
MGP sources stuff for many different brands out there, but they were like, hey, you know what? We should release
Keeping it for themselves.
the best stuff that we have and release our own brand. So the first bottle here is the regular George Remus bourbon. 94 proof, straight bourbon, whiskey, non-chill, filtered, obviously all from Indiana. I just noticed on this tag that this won 94 points in what's called the Ultimate Spirits Challenge.
What?
Competition.
The people that stealing our competition's name. Look at that.
Yeah,
don't buy
don't.
it.
You should blur it.
And they even have a subscribe to QR code
Hey, don't
on
show
YouTube.
that.
I'll blur it out.
Oh, you know what? No, you should
Point it to
replace
ours.
Yeah.
Replace the QR code with our QR code?
Yeah.
All right, guys. How is the nose on the regular old Remus?
How long has this been open?
This has been open a
while, right?
At least 6 months or so.
Definitely opened up.
Yeah.
All of these bottles have been
remember.
open for at least a month. I think the batch 1's the only one that's been open maybe just a month or two.
You know what? I want to mention this. I know I think commenters were asking about, like, how can you nose flower aroma? Right here. Man.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting, too, because I usually associate MGP more with that grainy hit.
Yeah, but this is so bright.
It's really bright.
It's really like, it's a summer fruits and flower. It's like field of flower.
I mean, somewhat reminiscent of Four Roses Small Batch in my head. I don't know why.
I agree.
You agree? Yeah.
Yeah.
Just kinda
like
reminds me of it.
the was it the OESO? I think it's the OESO
I was just thinking of Small Batch.
Small Batch Select.
Yeah. All right, let's try it out, guys.
Very minimal. Just want to mention very minimal wood on the aroma.
Decent amount of oak on the palate.
Yeah. It's oaky.
Surprising.
Oak and rye.
It's oaky.
Yeah.
Oak and rye. It suffers a little bit in terms of the youth as well as the
age.
kind of the unsophisticated rye component of the flavor profile. You get a little of that rye medicinal
Little bit.
hint, a little bit of that funk.
It's tannic, dude.
It's pretty oaky. I mean, surprisingly oaky to
There's
me.
a little. I know what you mean. There's like a raw
like
wood component, right?
Something really raw.
Yeah. But enjoyable. I mean, if you're thinking about it, inexpensive, I think it's like a $20 to $30 bottle. I'll pop the actual price up. Not very expensive.
Yeah.
Decent sipper. I'd say on par with something like Four Roses small batch, something like Woodford's. I mean, it fits into that price range. It's not going to beat any of those necessarily, but it'd be a fun one to throw into a blind with some of those, actually.
Yeah, I think we should. Because in real life, I don't tend to reach for this.
I don't either.
I would rather reach for like the Four Roses Select
Woodford.
or even Woodford.
But I mean, everything here is pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's well balanced. It's
Yeah.
pretty easy sipper. A little spicy, you're right.
I feel like the aroma is a tease to things to come.
Well, the aroma is definitely better than the palate.
Well, speaking of things to come, why don't we jump into batch one of the Remus Repeal Reserve. All right, Remus Repeal Reserve batch one.
Excitement.
Now, you guys have never tried this,
Nope.
and it took us so long. I mean, we've been wanting to
We had to buy a box set.
We had to buy the box set to get batch one.
Come on.
That's how ridiculous we are.
Dedication.
So I will say these little 375 ml bottles are pretty cool looking. Let's get a close up here. The design and aesthetic is the same as the bigger one. So you can see what's in this one. It's a 2005 bourbon, a 2006 bourbon, which with their high rye mash bill, and then some more of the 2006 bourbon with their lower rye mash bill. This is the lowest proof of them, 94, 47% alcohol. And you can see the back, the design there. Pretty darn cool. So this came out in 2017. And so a 2005 bourbon would have been, 12 years old. So this is majority 12-year-old bourbon in here with their lower rye mash bill. So let's try it out.
Exciting.
It's just a little guy. It's a nice travel bottle, you know?
It is travel size.
Oh,
How's it nose?
Wow.
okay.
Very floral. Very floral.
Again,
Almost
yeah.
no grain, though, on the nose.
No grain.
Very minimal wood.
A little bit. But it's very well balanced.
Summer fruits are like really coming out. It's nice.
It's like berries.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
all berry.
I don't know if I can say it's completely balanced because the wood is so subdued. You want a little bit more, I think.
I don't know. I think it's.
No,
I
this
think
is
it's
so
nice.
pleasant.
I think any more and it would be a little bit off-putting. Mm-hmm. Nice color on it. Decent viscosity. 94 proof though, so lower proof.
Yeah. Are we talking about the palate now? Or
Let's get into the
Go in.
palate. The spice is
Yeah.
Really
building
big.
up. Yeah.
So
very bright.
what's missing from this one is the immature rye component, which is really nice, right?
Yeah.
So the regular Remus has that little weird rye funk, and then it seems a little younger. This seems more kind of mature and well thought out.
So bright.
The balance is
So
there.
bright.
You know what I like about this? The mouthfeel. The mouthfeel is much, much improved. It doesn't have any sharp edges. It's very, very velvety relative to the Remus.
I got a lot of rye. A lot of rye spice though.
Me too.
To me, it's a big explosion of rye, and then it tapers off really, really nicely. I love the finish on this. You have to really like rye.
Yeah.
Forward.
To
I
appreciate this.
disagree.
I get a lot of rye.
I'm not getting a lot of rye. I'm not getting a lot of
I'm
rye. I
getting
think. Are you sure you're confusing with the original one? Because I'm not getting that.
No, I'm getting it.
I'm getting a skew toward sweetness. Not much.
Yeah,
Not much
it
in terms
does
of the
skew towards
jam.
sweetness.
Yeah, not much in
Yeah.
terms of the jam or like stewed fruits. It's more ripe fruit, summer fruit, even almost like the raw component. You get the flour.
You get the flour.
I felt like what you're paying for here is a slightly more sophisticated presentation of the rye. like a mature rye.
But it is a lot of rye.
It's still It's
I get a lot of rye.
Me too.
but
you
not
could
the
tell me
medicinal rye.
No.
You're right.
More on the spice side.
Aged rye,
aged,
not the medicinal note, but the spiciness.
Yeah.
Like the good spiciness that people like when they like a spicy rye forward.
I can't get over how I'm enjoying the mouthfeel on this. I mean, we talk about our Ultimate Spirits competition, which is the only valid competition on Earth.
Obviously.
But that's why we have that body component, because there are some of our our brothers and sisters out there who are who love the whiskeys. They might be hunting for just the body, like the experience in the body, and this is a great example.
I don't know that I agree with you on this.
Oh,
I
were
find
you
it a little
talking?
lacking.
No, I'm talking here, and I'm
You
sorry.
have been for the last
I forgot.
30 minutes. So.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm turning over a new leaf. I'm supposed to be very positive this year, right? So none of the negativity. So
Positively verbose.
I'll just say, be quiet, Dutch.
All right. So, in other words, you think the mouth feels great. Jules and I thought it was okay. I think the finish is what shines on this. To me, if you want like a masterclass in how to present rye spice,
where
like
you're
a
not
mature-
off-putting,
presenting-
mature.
and it comes in with this big blast of flavor.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent to me. And it just kind of goes such a slow fade out. And I still can taste it.
Yeah.
It's still excellent. But the body to me was just average, honestly.
You know what I get? I get a soupçon of the
Was that turtle soup?
no, you know the what is it? What's that one? The butterfly.
Oh,
Blue
Blue
Run?
Run, your favorite.
Blue Run. Yeah, I get a hint of Blue Run.
I can see where you're coming from.
Yeah. There's a because they like to blend it with that kind of skew toward that bright flavor profile, and I'm getting some of that here.
It's mellowing as I sip it, so I'm getting a little bit more of the sweet fruit coming in, light fruits.
I'm enjoying the aroma. I think this is like almost like a very delicate release, and I feel like it'll get killed in head-to-heads.
Totally agree.
This is why
Totally
we
agree.
always say the blinds aren't the end-all be-all.
Head-to-heads are not the end-all be-all. Drinking through them like this is sometimes almost more valuable. Just spend a little more time with it. Let it hit your palate.
I'm just enjoying it right now. This is like a perfect afternoon sipper.
I agree with that.
Wow.
Yeah, I agree. All right, well, we got to move on. Let's get to batch 2. All right, guys, moving on to Remus Repeal batch 2. Let's take a look at the bottle here. This is the full size. Look at that. We're up to 100 proof now.
Yeah.
And the 2018 medley was, let's see here, mostly 2008 bourbon, so that's a 10-year-old. And you can see the high rye and low rye ratios there. So this is all 10 and 11-year-old bourbon, mostly 10-year. They bumped the proof up, and they added some flair with a little booklet here. And I think this is the one. I don't know if it's this one or the 3. Yeah, and it's a gift tag. It has like a to and from.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Oh.
And I guess, Mr. Remus was well known for giving very extravagant gifts to people.
You mean
Yeah.
lavish gifts?
Lavish.
Yeah, cars and stuff, right?
Yeah, he had like a party and gave everybody a car or something crazy like that.
It's like the Oprah of the yesteryear.
The Oprah of whiskey. I thought that was you.
For our
Oh, no, he's the View.
No, he's
I want to say
The View.
for our listeners, if you remember, I gave this as a gift, and they all poo-pooed it. So let's see what happens.
Hey, let's see what happens. I did. You know what? I take umbrage with that. I did not poo-poo it. I think I still gave it a gold, maybe a very high silver. I think it's still very, very good bourbon. I gotta check the tapes on that one. All right, so batch 2. How is the nose?
I'm getting grape skin and ethanol.
I'm getting more sweet on this. I'm getting a little bit of that caramel.
I'm getting a lot of the alcohol.
Yeah. Right? A little bit, right?
It's
Yeah.
not a little bit. It's pretty
I
prominent
get
for
grape
me.
and caramel.
I get the grape. I'm having a
don't get
tough
any
time
caramel.
getting the
No
caramel.
sweet.
I agree with the
Sweet,
no
yeah.
caramel.
It's a little drizzle.
It's more a sugar.
Yeah.
It's all white sugar.
Just slightly browned sugar. Like just you put it in the pot and you're starting to warm it through. All right, moving on to
It feels
palate.
more delicate on the nose.
It does, right? But you know what? You know what it is? This is when we talk about how, like, the complexity of the
Yeah.
aroma, right? It's very narrow
yeah.
compared to the previous one.
But this has different elements. It's just different.
Not yet in the
Yeah,
aroma.
yeah.
To me, it does. It's got a different sweetness element and a different fruit component. It doesn't have the floral rye thing that I was getting with this as much.
Yeah, not as much flour on this one.
Turned down
This is
here.
more. This is more like the sugary, like fructose.
White sugar,
Yeah.
dude. I'm not getting
sweeter.
it on
This
the.
is
I agree with you, sugar.
Yeah.
Yeah. White sugar.
yeah.
All right, let's try the palate.
Okay.
Huh.
Oh, I get some oak. I get a tannic.
Finally get the oak. Yeah.
Almost too much. It's actually kind of bitter on the end of the palate. You
On
guys
the
getting
finish, it feels stronger for sure for me.
The finish is the tannic and the wood.
very
There's
tannic.
a slight bitterness there, but
You getting that?
Yeah, I'm getting it.
I still like the mouthfeel.
Yeah.
It's not as good as the number one or number.
It's not as-
with number
It
one.
feels really
not as
thin to
clean.
me.
It's
It
not as
feels
clean.
really thin.
I feel like the complexity has narrowed, and it's just like wood and the sugar.
Yeah.
And there's like this hint of
It's
maybe
sad that
honey
the
trying to come
floral's
through.
gone.
The
It's
flour
sad
is
that
gone.
the-
You're
yeah,
right. The
the
floral
sweet's
component is
gone.
gone.
To me, it's just very schizophrenic. It's kind of like I get glimpses of all these different things happening so quickly, and then what I'm left with the finish is this really tannic finish.
Yeah, the wood component is really making
strong.
it tough.
Yeah.
It's really tough.
It comes back on that finish though, man.
I think it's
Like,
actually
really
a little
strong.
bit more complex as far as the number of different things I'm getting.
I think it's like to Dylan's point,
Yeah.
it narrowed.
It narrows very
yeah,
quickly.
quickly.
I think there's a. The only thing I can think of is like, was there a barrel that was a little bit over oaked?
That's what it seems like.
And
They
there's
tried to
that
blend it.
bitterness. You know, that like really weird, skewed, over oaked barrels have that bitterness.
The problem is the anchor for this one is almost that oaky tannic thing, whereas the anchor on batch one was that really
The floral
nice rye
bouquet,
thing, that
yeah.
really
Yeah.
well developed rye flavor. This one's just like
It's tannic, dude.
they almost tried to balance a rye hit with an oak hit, and they're kind of misaligned or something.
Yeah, I think this is a pass for me.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, not my favorite so far. All right, shall we move on?
Yes, please.
Go. All right, guys, batch 3. This was the, what is this, 2019 now we're on? Yeah, this is the 2019 limited release. Again, same motif, same bottle design. You can see there the 2019 medley is 2007 and 2008 bourbons. So the 07 in 2019 would be a 12-year-old, and then the 11-year-old making up a bulk of it. You can see the ratios there.
Huge,
The
dude.
high rye.
78%.
Yeah, mostly that 2008 low rye bourbon. And they have a tag here that even says, aged for 10 and 11 years.
10 and 11.
Sorry, 11 and 12.
Dutch.
Wow, I'm reading it and I can't even read it right.
Terrible.
This just seems kind of weird. It's like, well, why didn't you just say aged for over 10 years? Then you kind of cover all your bases.
No, man, it's marketing. Because everyone's going to like gravitate towards 11 and 12.
Well, sweet spot for bourbon, they say, 12 years,
Exactly.
right? But is it the sweet spot for MG? Oh my gosh, I spilled
Wow, you spilled a lot on this one.
All right, guys, how is the nose on batch 3?
Oh.
Wow.
Oh.
Okay, now I'm getting some brown sugar.
Getting the jam.
Yeah.
Getting the jam.
Oh wow! What an academic exercise here. This is an amazing journey here.
Yeah, this is so
Now I'm
much
getting the
more
honey. Now I'm getting the caramel too.
I'm getting that hint of caramel.
Yeah,
So
hint of
good.
caramel,
Getting
but I'm
that
getting the jam level fruit.
But you don't lose the flour on this.
No,
thing.
you don't.
This is so amazing.
It's
Floral's
just
still
layered,
there.
It's
Yeah,
layered
just a
right
little
on top.
bit, yeah. That's soup
was
sauce.
Oh, that's good. Oh, I
This is
hope
the
it-
best
I
nose so far.
hope it tastes as good.
I know.
A spice.
Okay, this is more balanced.
Way more balanced. It's a complete package.
Wow.
You get everything.
enough spice. I get enough of the sugars. I'm getting enough of the berry. Oh,
I want to say
floral.
Skews towards spice though.
there's a
Really?
little bit
It's
of
toned down more for me.
it's like almost that rye bitterness trying to break through, but
But
it's
it doesn't.
blended
It doesn't.
out.
Yeah,
And
it doesn't.
what I like about this is it's a exhibition of craftsmanship.
Yeah. Yeah, to me this is almost like
Oh, that's so good.
they were able to take this tannic oaky thing and blend it with a more well-rounded rye spice
Jam.
and some more sweetness, and it really works better to me. It's more of like a complete package.
Yeah, that's a sweet spot, man.
That honey is really nice.
I still get a decent amount of the rye kick.
I gotta say, the thing that you lose on this one is the mouthfeel is not as velvety as the first one.
It's definitely more drying than the previous
there's
ones.
a little bit of a. It's not perfect, right? So, but the
Yeah.
aroma,
Not perfect,
the
I
palate,
agree.
Aroma,
but-
palate.
Aroma, fantastic. The palate is... I think
Most
actually,
balanced so far, I think.
The way it tastes right now, I feel like just sitting in the glass for another 10 minutes, it'll be... All those harsh edges are going to be smoothed out. It's really close for me.
It's really good. It's the best one so far. The most balanced while not impacting the
would
complexity.
Oh, the sweetness is really...
It's so good, dude.
I don't know how to describe it. I don't know if you guys are getting the same experience, but it's almost like here's some oak and some rye spice, but it's like they've put a barrier up of the sweetness.
I completely
and it's kind
agree.
of in between
It doesn't
there.
break it, though.
It's trying to
doesn't
break
break it.
through.
yeah.
And on the finish, it almost does for me.
On the
Yeah.
finish, just a little
It
bit.
depends on how you like manipulate the liquid.
Yeah.
You feel like it's gonna come through.
Yeah.
But it just kind of comes back and just kind of pushes back.
Yeah.
I like it. I
The
like
sweetness,
it.
though, man. It just carries
There's a
through. It's so
component.
good.
Yeah, this is
It's almost like they needed to do maybe a little bit more sweet to balance it out because it's almost like a very loose set of like guidelines.
This is close, though, man.
Yeah,
This is
I
as
agree.
close as it gets.
It's
right
a
now.
very interesting expression nonetheless, and by far the favorite of mine so far.
Me too.
Yeah,
I think it suffers a little bit in the mouthfeel though.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Drying.
Let's move on to batch 4. Okay, pass down batch 4.
Cuatro.
So I think this is the batch where I think people kind of started to notice Remus. For a lot of these, they were kind of like, oh, MGP's putting out their own thing. What's that? But then when batch 4 came out, people started to really take notice. Again, same motif design here. This is the 2020 medley, and you've got only 12-year-old bourbons in here now. So 77% of the low rye, 23% of the high rye, both from 2008. Batch 4 has the batch number there in the band. I actually, I mean, I know we talked about it when we reviewed these. I love this bottle.
Oh, yeah.
It's
The
one of my favorite
bottle
bottles
design's
in
great.
bourbon. I just
You
think it looks great.
think you like the Art Deco?
Yeah, the Art Deco and just the way it's easy to hold like this and pour. It's just a cool looking bottle, I think. Good attention to detail.
Dylan's bored.
It's all right.
If he's not hearing his own voice, he gets bored.
Exactly.
We know this.
So instantly.
You are hearing me talk. Oh.
Huh.
I got thoughts. All right. Go ahead, Jules.
I haven't even smelled it yet, man. Hang on.
What are you getting?
I'm getting your stewed fruit.
I'm getting a little bit of caramel on it now, too.
Less jam, stewed fruit, right?
Yeah.
I'm getting honey. Still a flower, which is nice.
Floral's still there.
Yes.
Not as prominent. Honey's there.
Oh man, the honey is
Yeah.
incredible there.
And it's like a rich honey.
Yeah.
It's like a dark
It's like
honey.
thick.
You know, a lot of times it's the honey gets thinned out.
Yeah.
This one, no way. This one is really
Oh,
intense.
you gotta start talking about the palate here.
All right, time for the palate. I think this is an elevation on batch 3 for me. Similar in a lot of ways,
I think the aroma definitely an elevation.
by far.
The palate is tricky.
It's really
I feel
tricky.
like the
I
wood,
feel like I'm getting blocked by something.
I think it's the wood component.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I think
It's
there's
blocking
a
other
wood component
components
there.
to this.
The honey is there.
Yeah. It's sweet.
I think what it is almost the way they've balanced it. It's just smoothed everything out almost too much, where you're not getting those things punching through.
Yeah, so you're not
So it
getting
tastes more subdued, especially after these last two. Yeah, but to me, very smooth.
Are you gonna do the?
smooth.
What I mean by that though is like it's been sanded down. Like there's nothing sticking out of this one, and I think it's a little bit less intense because of that.
Definitely on the front end. I'm getting some of it on the back, but I think overall it feels, like I said earlier, I'm getting blocked by something.
You know, I never thought
I
that.
don't know what it is.
I never thought that the master craftsmanship here revolved around the mouthfeel for the Remus line, and I'm beginning to appreciate that a lot more. Because I always focused in the Remus about the flavors, right?
Yeah.
Just the flavor, but now I'm realizing, oh wow, I think they took extra effort in making sure that the mouthfeel is, elevated. And I am even though the flavor I think is flawed in some ways, they still maintain a fantastic mouthfeel. Nothing is just off-putting or weird. It is very soft, velvety.
But this is severely turned down. In
But
flavor.
I think the wood component is punching a little bit harder.
It definitely is for me.
I think you lose the flower a little bit.
Not as much as 2 to me. 2 had way more wood than this. This
Yeah,
one,
but no, it's still there,
still
and I
there.
think that's what you're describing. You're saying
Yeah.
like, well, you might score the complexity a little bit lower as a result of
I would.
the wood
That it
component
being all sanded
being a
down.
little bit louder than let's say the delicate stuff like
I think the
some
reason
fruits.
that I feel differently about this is that I don't get the tannic aspect of the wood. I get the woodiness without the tannic, which is, to me, why I like this one a lot, I think.
I think I agree with that. Yeah, I'm not getting the tannic. Tannic is like 2.
Tannic was
Yeah,
2.
for sure.
This was rye heavy. This is now, you've got a little bit of the rye. You've got a less tannic wood. So I kind of see them kind of,
Converging.
converging in some ways, but yeah,
I don't know.
interesting.
I feel like they lost so much flavor compared to the 3.
I don't know. To me, it's just a different approach.
Yeah.
And it's hard doing them back to back because this one had
Yeah,
so much
that's
kicking to it.
definitely
This one
right.
doesn't have the kick. But to me, this tastes more refined.
But I see why folks gravitated toward this because there's still that honey component.
Yeah,
Yeah,
still
there's a
there.
good sweet.
And a lot of people who've been drinking bourbon for a long time, we've been drinking bourbon, for what, over 20,
1 year.
20 years.
20 year?
20 years. We sometimes long for that very unique honey hit.
Yeah.
And it has that component here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is,
Nostalgic.
that's probably the nicest aspect of it, I would say. Is that sweet,
The
the way the
aroma.
sweet comes through. Yeah. All right, let's get to the last one, batch 5. All right, pass down batch 5.
Cinco.
So this is this is where, people went really crazy for batch 5.
Except these two.
Except these two, yeah, except us. So this is the 2021 release. You can see there it is a lot more things going into the blend here. Mostly 2008 bourbon, so a 13-year-old. I think that was part of the reason that a lot of people liked it was that there is 2005 juice in this. So you got that 16-year-old accounting for 9% of it, 17-year-old accounting for 5% of it, and then 19% of the low rye. So you can see the blend there. I'm not making any sense trying to describe it. Polarizing, maybe, for some people. I think most people liked it.
Yeah.
I think we liked it.
Maybe.
We just didn't love it as much as Dylan did.
Yeah.
Look at that. It's like syrup.
Maybe the bottle's opened up. Maybe I'm going to like it even better now. And I'm glad I've got my the bottle that Dylan gifted to me as well.
Now, Jules, if you change your mind about this one, I still have an extra bottle if you want it.
No, you already gave him his Christmas gift. I think it was like that vodka stuff.
Yeah.
No, I gave him.
lemonade?
I gave him Cincoro Blanc.
Oh, that's
And I felt so bad.
Dang, dude. Now that
that is a kingly
is
gift. Here, I'll
a
give it close.
kingly, gift.
So as you know, Jules only judges the book by its cover, and
He only judges the cover of the book.
right.
Possibly.
No, I gave it to him
You
because
did
of
not
the
feel
bottle.
bad.
No, it's because of the bottle.
Well, that's why Jules buys.
He could put water in
It
it.
takes up so much space, too, man.
That would be so funny if he carries that around. This is a water bottle.
Yeah.
All right, how is the nose?
Come on.
A lot of sweet. It's all sweet. It's like barbecue sauce.
Much more rich. It's the rich.
It's rich. There's a lot more depth
yeah,
to it.
depth.
Yeah. But no honey and no rye. It's just all sweet to me. Jam.
There's honey. There's
No,
honey.
there's honey.
There's
There's
honey.
honey.
There's molasses.
There's a honey drizzle,
There's a
yeah.
molasses now.
Yeah.
And you know what?
It's all the
The
sweet.
wood is not buried by the sweet.
No.
I get no wood.
I get wood right here.
Yeah, me too. Got wood?
I get the jam and the stew.
Oh man.
All right.
Oh man.
Palate time. Let's dig in.
Fantastic.
See?
It still tastes like chaos to me. I get punches of rye. I get the sweet. I get the oak on the finish. Just still tastes unbalanced to me.
Oh, man, I think it's
Yeah.
it's so good now.
You're a
Really?
filthy liar. You're a filthy liar.
It's really good, dude.
I don't know, man.
So
This one is not hitting the
refined.
Aroma's getting the
It is so
that
refined.
grape skin.
The aroma's the best.
Balance
by far.
is so good.
It retains.
Dude, it's so even. I don't get it.
It retains the mouthfeel.
No, I'm getting more I'm getting more refined mouthfeel. Really?
I think
it's
rich.
really buttery.
I think it's
dude.
rich.
Yeah,
I think
velvety,
it's rich.
buttery.
I don't know. I'm still getting this like dill pickle rye thing, kind of carrying over the whole palate experience for me.
I guess your upper lip. I don't know what.
You're not getting that?
I'm not getting it, dude.
What
get almost
dill?
no
What are you
sweetness.
talking about?
Oh
I
my
don't know,
god,
man. Maybe
it's
my palate's gone.
really wow. Shoot,
I have an
it's
extra
good.
bottle.
It's good.
I have an extra
It's
bottle.
way better than what I remember.
This is exactly what I remember.
It's way better. Of course, I don't remember it at all, but
I'll give you one.
Yeah, you can have
it's
mine.
really good.
Wow.
It's really good.
Regift. Regift an open
it's
bottle.
I mean, I kind of wish that the palate matched the nose for me because I'm getting all the stuff you guys are talking about on the nose, but on the palate, all you get is this dill pickle rye thing.
You know what it is? It starts with a touch of honey. Then it builds on that by adding a little bit of the molasses. The wood is always there. Maybe it's because of the wood that you don't like it.
Maybe
There's a slight tannic component.
There is
On
a
the
tannic.
finish,
It is
right?
tannic
It's
on the
really
finish.
The
off-putting.
finish, there's a tannic component.
And I think that's why I would come back to 3 and 4
I think I know what you're talking about though now.
because I don't get any of the tannic on 3 and the 4. I get tannic bitter.
Kinda-
I don't.
Maybe it's power suggestion. I'm getting a dill pickle thing.
I get dill pickle and tannic wood, and there is other stuff in here.
But there is. Oh yeah, the sweetness is still there.
And don't get me
The
wrong,
honey
I would
component.
still love to sip on this thing, but I don't think I would pick it as my favorite out of the lineup.
It tastes like apricot, right?
No,
I'm not reminded of apricot.
Just
I'm like,
kidding.
it's like prickly pear.
What
lots of
is-
prickles on this one. Well, hey, look, to each their own, but let's do a bit of a recap. All right, so, we'll kind of take this out of the equation, because this is just a different thing, where this is their basic offering.
Okay, wait. No.
Still very good.
Let's say I want to talk about utility. All right. So
Okay.
in our drink through, I want to know the utility of each one. So where does this fit? How
is
would
cheap.
you recommend that?
It's an inexpensive. If you only want to spend $30 on a decent sipper and you want to know an MGP not so grainy
Base.
version of MGP tastes like, I would go for this.
So you would pick that over something from Buffalo Trace. You would pick
I
that
don't
over.
know that I
from-
would pick it over any of those. I'm just saying if you want to
So
get
then, why would they choose this? That's what we want to.
Well, that's their base. That's their starting point.
This is what
that's their
MGP
base.
tastes like with
Yeah.
a less emphasis on grain. Because I know, I've had a lot of different MGP things, and the predominant thing to me is that I can taste the graininess in it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's really well balanced, but it's always there. I don't really get any of that in any of these. I get much more rye spice in these than I typically do from MGP stuff.
I agree.
This is just a value thing. If you don't want to spend $70, $80 on a bourbon like these are, then you go for this. You're getting
the base profile
core,
though,
yeah.
so you understand where they're coming
And
from.
there's
with it.
no harsh edges to this. I think it's a really tasty dram.
To me, it's more of an academic drink.
Yeah,
Like
Well,
just
in
saying,
this
build on the
context, it
MGP.
is,
Yeah.
Well, yeah, only in this context. You're not going to buy this.
All right, so
you're
let's
not buying
let's
this.
get down to brass tacks. Batch 1 through 5, Jules. Which one are you picking?
1 through 5. I really enjoyed this one, but this is awesome too. I think I'll go with 3, just because of just going on by what I remember in this lineup. Yeah. This one really shocked me.
Is it my turn?
No, I'll go next. No, go ahead.
Okay. It's either this one
Obviously.
or this one.
Interesting.
Yeah. I like this because I felt like there was a direction. Like this was the beginning of the journey, right?
I agree with that. To me, this is possibly the best balanced one out of all of them.
Yeah, I like it because of the mouthfeel. I was like shocked at what they were able to achieve in terms of the mouthfeel. It was very velvety, well-rounded. It didn't have, I think, the breadth, but it was very, very, very sweet and pleasant. And I felt like they were like, hey, MGP is not all about grain and spice.
Yeah.
Let us show you that we
the
do
flower,
have barrels that has they have the flour. So that's why I appreciate that. I felt like 5, it's kind of like they took the feedback from the community and said, you know what, we're going to give you this very punchy, big flavor, depth of flavor while maintaining the mouthfeel that you had with the first one. And so if I had to pick one out of all of these, I would still pick this one.
Pick 5. Okay.
Yeah, because it's just, I think you get the flavors.
All right. I have a really tough time with this. Quite frankly, the only one of these that I probably won't reach for again is this one.
I agree.
This is the only one. Any of these I'd be perfectly happy to sip on. I think I'm kind of going to be with Jules with batch 3.
Is it because of the sweetness?
I just felt like it, it had an anchor flavor and it didn't have the tannic hit.
Yep.
And I got everything with it and it had those sweet barriers I was talking about. To me, it was the most interesting flavor experience.
Same.
Now, I'm going to bring in part of my memory with this. I think there is a big rye punch with this.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it, but I feel like it kind of blew us out a little bit to enjoy the nuance that I recall from batch 4. Because I've drank through most of this because I enjoy this one a lot.
Yeah.
But I would say these 3 would be my favorites out of all of them. This was very interesting.
Yeah.
But probably I'm picking in this order 3, 4, 5 for me.
Yeah.
Very close though. I mean, I want to like 5, but every time I go back to it, I'm just like, man, there's something, and it might be the tannic, it might be the bitter thing that I'm getting. There's something in it that hits my palate just slightly off. So yeah, I think the only one that I really didn't have any negative thing with here was batch 3. Like
Just from an experience point of view.
I just want to also comment that I'm very appreciative of the fact that they're using these blends. Like, I think my whole bourbon journey is all about experiencing the craftsmanship from the distiller.
But I'm going to push back because I also have a little bit of frustration because we've all had MGP blends and we've had MGP single barrels.
Right.
Some single barrels that I don't feel like have been captured by these blends. I feel like there's. I think
So you're talking about the Old Scout 11,
the Old Scout stuff, and even some of the more modern blends. People are achieving some really awesome flavor profiles.
like what Smoke Wagon? What are you talking about? Or
Well, that's interesting because it's completely different.
Bell? Oh, okay.
To me, it's a very different flavor than what I get out of these. I feel like there's more to come, and I'm excited.
I just feel like I had an epiphany here. I feel like this is an exercise in mouthfeel. I feel like you get flavor and mouthfeel. If you try the other MGP, that's what's lacking. There's immaturity in that. Even when I drink like the Smoke Wagon, all the variations, the ones that they age in Nevada, the ones that like are exposed to different climates.
You're talking about the age because these are well-aged MGP. Which is...
and even thinking about like Old Scout, the old ones, the older Old Scout, you get the flavor for sure, and I think it could potentially beat all of these in terms jam. Of the rich jam, the quote unquote honey barrel, but they don't achieve the mouthfeel. They don't
I don't know how you are today, but for whatever reason, my palate right now, like none of these, I didn't get that on it.
I was gonna say like the mouthfeel was not the discerning factor.
No, it was okay. It wasn't bad. It just it didn't hit.
And they didn't elevate any of the experiences.
I saved one. This is the one. Yeah, batch 1. And I'm gonna taste a little bit. Boy, come on!
Look at the viscosity. I'm just looking at the way it's coating the glass.
Right?
Wow, I might have to go back on what I said. That is okay. Now after batch 5, isn't that a much better put together bourbon?
It's a more delicate. Again, this will get killed in head to heads. This might survive, and yet this has an extra level of kind of complexity and a wonderful presentation that I wish we could all share with the community. Like, it's so bright.
See, now I'm thinking that I'd prefer this over 5 even. I mean, to me, that's just something.
That's why I said I think it's these two right now, but...
I'm going to go back to what I said first, which is basically let's just take 2 out. These are all very good.
Yeah.
These are all very good.
Huh.
And I feel like on a particular day, batch 2 might even work for us. But I don't know. What do you think? What's your reaction after trying?
Did you try this again?
I did.
Okay. What'd you think?
And I think I'm gonna have to agree with Dutch. It's better than 5.
Really?
Better than 5.
Because I sipped 5 right after.
I just had it. There's
and
no
it's like
question.
5 it seems so dull.
It's 1 is definitely better.
I think I'm with you. 1 is way better than 5.
This adds the wood.
Not in a good way. Not in a good way. Just because it has more doesn't mean it's better.
I don't think it's too overwhelming. This is skewed toward. It's skewed toward. I think maybe it's because you guys love the cocktails.
I don't know.
And like the White Claws and stuff, because it does definitely have. It has a lot of. I'm not saying it's wrong. It's okay.
No, you're just saying we're wrong.
I am positive. Remember, it's positive Dylan.
Yeah,
it's positive Dylan this year. So it's all right. It's all right.
Okay. Well, anyway, this has been a really fun drink through.
has.
Hopefully, you guys have come away with something useful from this. Probably not. Nevertheless, we will definitely be on the lookout for batch 6 when it comes out. Jules, take us out of this episode.
Comment below how delicately nice I was in this episode.
And tell us what your favorite, if you've tried all of these.
If you have this lineup, let us know. Yeah. That's more important.
That's more important than anything Dylan said in this entire episode.
Just don't agree with Dylan. Give us a thumbs up if you like this episode, thumbs down. Either way, just let us know. Subscribe for more videos from Curiosity Public. If you want to help us out, please consider joining Curiosity Private, a membership program here on YouTube. We are also on Patreon, and we are selling t-shirts. Links will be in the description. We have a podcast. Oh, yeah, we can get that kind of t-shirt. We have a podcast on the major podcast platforms out there. As always, stay safe, stay healthy.
Stay curious.
You're mean.
You're meanie. You're mean.
You're mean.
You know what I say to that?
Batch 1's better than batch 5.
You need to. Wow.
It's so true, man.
No question in my mind.
No, you know what? I feel like you're doing that to justify.
You brought it out
from the other.
You brought it out.
My score was not that bad. I still think it's really good bourbon. I just don't think it's the best one out of these 5.
It doesn't shine out of these 5, dude.
It doesn't to me.
Anyway, if you want a bottle, I have some.
So you really want to give that bottle
You're just
away?
Trying to,
No, I have backups. I'm being nice. I'm being nice.
This is the new Dylan.
I'm the new Dylan. This is the new Dylan.
This is
And it's
Dylan
into the
nice.
camera as
I don't
usual.
get it.